Am I audible, everyone? So now if you have noticed it here, so drinking of alcohol, we can see many of us in our surroundings. So what is the problem we'll face and even how it will be happening. So that is all will happen. So finally it will be stupor. So what do you mean by stupor? Anybody can tell? That is what you can see while you are traveling on the road. You can see many of us will experience it. Somebody is falling on the roadside. Have you all noticed it? They're unable to walk, they're unable to stand also. So that is what we used to say near unconsciousness. That is the meaning of stupor. So they will feel mental confusions, drowsiness, lowering of the normal inhibitions, means unable to walk or unable to speak properly. Something they'll speak, and finally they will get the stupor. So stupor means unconsciousness. So the individual may feel relaxed without realizing that his sense of judgment, sense of timing, and muscular coordination have been seriously impaired. Means they will, while taking time and all, it will be very nice, but they won't feel it. When the time being only, they will understand what is the side effects of them. And even unlike ethanol, intake of methanol extremely dangerous. This is very important. Even a very small quantity, finally it can cause us what? Everybody, death only. So direct death. If anybody will take absolute methanol, what do you mean by absolute? Everybody? Absolute means 100% alcohol. Note it, everyone. If it is, they will be consuming 100% alcohol, pure. It is either it is ethanol or methanol, doesn't matter. They will die. But even methanol, small quantities, if you consume also, it will lead to the death. Understanding? Because methanol extremely oxidizing of liver. Very important. Underline this. Methanol is oxidized to methanol in the liver. Methanol is a what? Aldehyde, ketone. What is that? Al. Anybody? Al
Aldehyde.
is a what? Everybody.
Aldehyde.
Aldehyde. Aldehyde. Write it. That is very important. Aldehyde. So this methanol is extremely oxidizes to methanol in the liver, and this methanol reacts rapidly with the components of cells. So it will coagulates the protoplasm, in much the same way an egg is coagulated by the cooking. So in the sense of, what do you mean by coagulating? Anybody can tell meaning? For example, you are having a egg, mutta. Inside and all, if you break it without boiling, it will be in a liquid state. Am I right or wrong? Everybody, please respond. Yes, amma. Nobody say egg teriyada. If you are break the egg without boiling, what will happen? Inside will get a white color like a mucus substance. Am I right? All of you? Everything, a fluid will be present.
Yes.
A fluid is present inside the egg. Now, if I inside the egg, if I boil it, after boiling, what will be happen, everybody? The shell will be present normally, but inside everything will be solidified. Am I right or wrong? It will be turned up into a solid. Same thing will happen when you drink the methanol. It will go oxidizes the methanol, methanol, and this methanol, it will reacts rapidly with the components of the cells, means which is present inside the cells like nucleus, cytoplasm, XYZ, and coagulates the protoplasm, means in the sense of making it into solid. So all the cells will be turned up into solid, same way like egg is coagulated by cooking. Like how by boiling the egg, inside will be turned up into solid. Same way the cells will be same, it will happen when it will react with the methanol, Al. Okay. So methanol also affect the optic nerve and causing the blindness. This is also very important. Directly it will react to the optic nerve, physics. So ethanol is an important industrial solvent. We have a greater importance of ethanol and methanol, you can see. So ethanol is an important industrial solvent. To prevent the misuse of ethanol produced for industrial use, it is made unfit for drinking by adding a poisonous substances. That is why you can see, basically in industries, alcohol usage is extremely high, not by the people, for the processes, for chemical processes, methods, manufacturing and all. But many people that the workers or laborers who are working in the industry, unknowingly they will drink that. They will feel, they won't see either it is a denatured alcohol, the word I am using here, denatured alcohol or whatever. They will see that only alcohol and they'll consume. So immediately it will lead to the death, because it is denatured alcohol, means it is not good to consume. That is the meaning of denatured alcohol, means they're adding the poisonous substances like methanol to the ethanol, and they are keeping using for, and also they are using, see, dyes are also added to the color the alcohol blue, so that it can be identified very easily. So the industrial ethanol, what is the color of the industrial ethanol? Anybody can tell? What is the color of the industrial ethanol? Blue color. So they will add dyes also. Sir, what is the dyes they will add? Pyridine. Pyridine they will add, methanol they will add, and they will also add copper sulfate. What is the copper sulfate adding? Anybody tell me? What is the color of the copper sulfate? Blue color.
Blue.
So they will
Blue
add
color.
so that it can be identified easily. So that added methanol or dyes to the ethanol, what is that alcohol call it as? What is the name of the alcohol call it as? All of you. Please respond. Denatured alcohol. If I add a dangerous substances like methanol, dyes to the ethanol, that is indicating that it is not used for consuming. It is used for only industrial solvent. So actually it is a danger sign. Even they will stick the danger sign in marked on the container. A containers, they will put this danger sign, and the alcohol will be in what color? Everybody? Blue color. So means it is not good to consume. That is what you have to remember. Clear, everybody? So the how much dangerous it is, you can understand. Now, next one. The same alcohol we are using as a fuel also. The present trend and the future also it is going to be. So sugarcane plants are one of the most efficient converters of sunlight into chemical energy. That is what sugarcane juice can be used to prepare molasses. As I said, what is molasses? A raw material from the sugar industries, which is a dark, and what is the properties of this one? Everybody, what is the properties of this one, guys?
Thick dark brown.
Yeah, a dark brownish liquid, which is fermented to give alcohol. What is that alcohol? Ethanol. What is this fermented? Everybody. In Tamil, what is the exact word fermented? I know only English meaning. Telugu I know, but Tamil I don't know. Anybody can tell? Fermented means by adding the enzymes, we'll convert it, we'll process it. That's all it is, a fermentation. We'll store in a one big container and we'll add enzymes and we'll put it. So that is the process we used to call fermentation. So for this fermentation, I have given you two equations. Do you all remember, everybody? Just now I have given you two equations, correct? Am I right? Yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So remember that also. And some countries now use alcohol as an additive in a petrol, since it is a cleaner fuel which gives rise to only carbon dioxide and water on burning in sufficient air. Means other petrol and all, they are producing other harmful substances also, but this alcohol we are mixing with the petrol. That is what we used to call it as a additive in petrol means it is used as a fuel also. So ethanol to petrol to be used as a mixed fuel in cars, basically. So many countries, if you have taken Brazil, they are using a mixture of ethanol and petrol. They are using for a fuel for a cars. So that is why. Why? What is the reason? Because ethanol is a what fuel? It is a cleaner fuel, or it is a clean fuel because it will give only harmful products. What is the harmful products it will produce? Everybody. Carbon dioxide and water vapor. Both are not a harmful substances. So dangerous substances, it will never be releases. So that is why we will use it as a fuel also. So by mixing with the petrol. Now, it will never emit any poisonous gases like carbon monoxide or XYZ. So that is the reason you can see ethanol is actually is using as a, like a mixture with the petrol. We are using as a additive fuel, which basically is to say. But here you remember petrol and the petrol ratio is 20 is to 80 percentage. Means 20% if you take absolute alcohol, that is what 100% ethanol is mixed with the petrol. So that is what we used to call it as a mixed one, mixed petrol. So where we can use it as a better better combustion reaction. So no harmful substances will produce. And for this, they will use benzene also. So what is the benzene they use? So basically, if you notice it, alcohol won't mix with the petrol directly. Mixing of petrol is not possible because alcohol is insoluble in petrol. So if I add benzene, do you understand everybody? Then benzene will help to soluble. So benzene is actually alcohol to mix in the petrol. That is the reason we are adding a third solvent which is added to the mixture because alcohol directly cannot be soluble in the petrol. So this is what alcohol as a fuel. So these many things you have to talk about it, and every orange color box is important. And molasses, how many equations I have given just now? Everybody? 2 equations I have given. Am I right, Amma? Please respond. So the 2 equations also you have to learn it, and they will ask you in the exam also. So now this is what is all about physical properties. Now we are going to study chemical properties. Extremely important. 100, like we can say 1000% possibilities are there to ask the question in the exam. So all of you write it. Ma physical properties, any doubt, Amma? Are you clear, everybody? All of you? So chemical properties of ethanol. Why the cough syrup alcohol is added? Anybody? Because alcohol is a what? Good solvent. Do you understand? So it can dissolve the medicine properly in a correct ratio so that the people can get consumed without any dangerous. That is the reason ethanol can be added in the as a solvent. It's a good solvent. That is what remember. So chemical properties of ethanol, you can see. So majority of the chemical properties of ethanol is due to the presence of only one functional group. What is the functional group of alcohol? Everybody? What is the functional group of alcohol?
OH.
OH. So because of this functional group only, many chemical properties are coming. So first property, combustion. I already taught you this. So combustion of alcohol. Check it, everybody. So ethanol is a highly inflammable or non-flammable? Everybody. Highly inflammable or non-flammable? Respond, Ra. Highly inflammable. So can catches the fire easily or difficult? It will take time. Catches fire very easily. Do you understand, everybody? So that is why we are using this one is as it as a auto fuel, not for auto. Auto fuel means in the sense of we used to call it as a power alcohol. We are using as a instead of like petrol, we are using this one for the certain kind of vehicles. Auto fuels we used to say. So during ethanol combustion, what will happen? Everybody can tell? What is the reaction? We already studied C2H5OH. C2H5OH. So oxygen, under the presence of oxygen, combustion will take place. What are the products will come? CO2 plus 3H2O plus heat, and as well as along with that, if you want to get it, what will get it, guys? We'll get
Light.
so that is the combustion reaction. Learn it, everybody. 3O2 plus 2CO2 plus 3H2O plus heat plus light. Very, very important. You all should learn the equation. With the even balancing, you learn it, it is better. So, what we can say, burning. So, burning or combustion of ethanol, one of the most important equation. Learn it, all of you. So, this reaction is only takes place in, basically, you can see spirit lamp. If you notice the spirit lamp or alcohol lamp, this is the exact equation will takes place. So there is a question from this. 1 year they asked that. Write the chemical equation of burning of ethanol. They ask you directly, you can write it. Or spirit lamp. So spirit lamp also we can call it as a what? Everybody? Spirit only we used to call it as a what? Ethanol. Please write it. So ethanol lamp or spirit lamp. So you have to write this equation only. Next, first property is this. What is the second property? Anybody? Second property. That is what which I left yesterday's class. What I said, what I told you. We'll discuss later. That is only call it as a oxidation. So oxidation is a very important. So oxidation means immediately you have to remember it is a controlled combustion, not a free combustion. It is a controlled combustion. Very, very important one. Okay. So now when ethanol is treated with the alkaline potassium permanganate solution, alkaline, before oxidation process, learn this both, everybody. All of you should learn. Alkaline potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate. Okay, you all people knows potassium permanganate formula. Can you tell me what is the potassium permanganate formula? KMNO4. Okay. Alkaline means what? Base, acida? Acida, base? Base. That is what NaOH. Note it. Book kadayadu, you should learn. Clear? Alkaline KMNO4 means NaOH plus KMNO4. That is what potassium permanganate. Next one. Acidic potassium dichromate. Acidic potassium dichromate solution. So what is the dichromate solution? First chapter I have taught you. While I am teaching first chapter, I have taught you people. Anybody? Yes, please. What is the first chapter you studied this? Dichromate. Potassium dichromate. K2, all of you. Yes? Yes. K2Cr2O7 plus acidic. Acidic means what? Acid or base? Acid. That is what is that. Please learn this. Okay. So now, all of you remember, when ethanol is treated with the alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium permanganate, note it everybody, it will get oxidized into ethanoic acid. It will get oxidized into ethanoic acid, and this solution gives a nascent oxygen for us. Very, very important. So the solutions, potassium permanganate or acidic potassium dichromate, they will give us nascent oxygen. So that only it will produce us the ethanoic acid. So very, very important process and very, very important. Write it, everybody. So whenever the ethanol reacting with either alkaline potassium permanganate or we can say acidic potassium dichromate solution. So what will happen, everybody? That is what, write it. CH3, CH2OH. Or I can say what? C2H5OH, alcohol. What is the name of the alcohol? Everybody. Ethanol. Or we can say what? Everybody. Ethyl. Respond. Ethyl alcohol. Basically, because of reacting with this potassium permanganate or potassium dichromate solution, they will produce the nascent oxygen. This one is not there in the book. You have to remember it. So where is this nascent oxygen is coming? From the oxidizing agent. Who is the oxidizing agent here? Who is the oxidizing agent? Anybody? Who is the oxidizing agents? All of you. Alkaline potassium permanganate or acidic potassium dichromate. Both are called it as a what? Respond. All of you. Oxidizing agent. Okay. Nascent oxygen. Coming from where? Harish? From oxidizing agent. Write it. Oxidizing agent. So it will produce us CH3COOH. What is the CH3COOH? We used to call it as a ethanoic acid, or we can call it as a acetic acid. Plus, along with that, water also produces. So here above that, what is the oxidizing agents? All of you. They are not the catalyst. They are what? Alkaline KMNO4, or we can add it as a what? R. Any one thing. What is that, everybody? Acidified K2Cr2O7. You have to take any one only, Amma. One only you should take. Either alkaline KMNO4 or acidified K2Cr2O7 with heat. This is very important. So you have to remember this. So it will converting into ethanoic acid. This is the second property which we used to call it as a oxidation process. Extremely important one. Note it, everybody. Okay. So now, sir, how sir they will produce nascent equation, nascent oxygen? Ma, there is an internal equations in this. So I will teach you that. You have to observe that. So KMNO4, this is for only for extra. KMNO4 react with the KOH. Understanding? Potassium hydroxide. You can remember, it will produce us. Basically, we can take KOH or NaOH, whatever you can take. Understand, Hari? It is a alkaline current. So I'm taking a base, KOH. It will produce K2MnO4 plus H2O plus nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen only we are using here to react with the ethanol. Do you understand, everybody? Please respond, guys. Are you clear? Yes, please. So this equation we are not using. Only we are writing directly. Even according to NCERT book means even nascent oxygen is not required. Directly they will say to write that equation. You all can write it. Here it is, see. Directly. Even water is not required. So directly ethanol to ethyl alcohol. Sorry, ethyl alcohol to ethanoic acid. Please write it. Ethanol to ethanoic acid. You board exam also write the same equation. Don't feel about it anything. But what is the explanation down Erika Pakrana? We see that some substances are capable of adding oxygen to others. These substances are known as oxidizing agent. Who is the oxidizing agent here? Alkaline KMNO4. Who is that alkaline? Everybody. NaOH, or you can take even KOH, nothing wrong. Acidified. Who is the acidified? H2SO4. And heat. Very, very important. Don't forget to write the heat. Exact equation is needed. Now, sir, how they will produce, sir? You can see here. Alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium dichromate or oxidizing alcohol to acids. Oxidizing alcohol to acids. Ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. That's why common name, if you don't know, you cannot do anything. Ethyl alcohol to the ethanoic acid. That is adding oxygen to the starting material. Who is the starting material? Name the starting material, everybody here. Name the starting material. Who is the starting material? Ethyl alcohol or ethanol. So they are adding these alkaline KMnO4 or acidified K2Cr2O7. They are adding the oxygen. Which oxygen? Nascent oxygen to the ethanol so that it will be turning into ethanoic acid. Okay, va? Ellame understood? Mitakshri, Mr. Aswin, Abhirami, clear? That is what is happening. So how it will produce the nascent oxygen? That is what equation. K2MnO4. Okay. React with the KOH. So it will produce K2MnO4 plus H2O plus nascent oxygen. Now this one, if you have been make even K2MnO4 react with the water, of course we will get equations. You can see MnO2 plus 2KOH plus nascent oxygen. So you can take alkaline medium. KMnO4 is using as a oxidizing agent, and it itself is getting reduced into MnO2. So that is how it will be happening. But these equations are not required. K2MnO4 is reducing itself into MnO2. So this equations is just for showing us how the internally nascent oxygen will produce us. It is not required for you. Many people, you no need to worry about it also. Do you all understand, Amma? All of you clear? So this is the second property. What is the second property, everybody? Yes, please. What is the second property? Oxidation. Okay. Then third property. First property over, second property over, third property. Reaction with the sodium. Extremely important. So here they are giving one. So you make it as a property number 3. Reaction with the sodium. More and more important one. Note it, everybody, and write it. Reaction with the sodium metal. So alcohols react with the sodium, leading to the evolution of hydrogen. Very, very important concept. Write it. Evolution of hydrogen. With ethanol, the other product is sodium ethoxide. Learn the chemical compound, Amma. Very, very important. Sodium ethoxide. So you can see what are the other substances produce hydrogen on reacting with the metals. We all studied metals and non-metal chapters. Metals and non-metals, there is a substances who will produce hydrogen. Anybody can tell? What is the other substances will produce hydrogen? They are asking. What is the substances we are getting hydrogen? Anybody can tell? Third chapter, metals and non-metals we studied. Please respond. Harish, anybody can tell?
Sir,
Yeah, what are the substances we are getting hydrogen gas? Other reactions, chemical reactions they are asking, nothing else.
with alcohols,
Yes. Alcohols will produce, of course. Have you seen, have we go through that? Chemical properties of metals and non-metals, you can see that. So many cases we are getting the hydrogen gas. So when metals reacting with the what? Metals reacting with something, we are getting hydrogen gas. Anybody?
Acid.
Acids. Very good. Next.
Base.
Yes, bases also. So you can see that chemical properties of metals. So we have studied that when metals reacting with acids, we'll get the hydrogen gas. When metals reacting with reaction with the dilute acids, you can notice it. And metals reacting with the water. Metals reacting with the water also, it will produce the hydrogen gas. Am I right or wrong? Verify it. Is it correct, Amma? Yes or no? Please respond. All of you. Correct? So like that, whenever the metals are reacting with the water or metals are reacting with the acids, we people are used to get the hydrogen gas, and even non-metals. So if you have taken the non-metals, so non-metals, if you see, I think there is no non-metal which will produce the hydrogen gas, because non-metals is basically less reactive than that. So they're asking us to recall. So this is the one of the most important equation. So learn it, everybody. Alcohols react with the sodium, leading to the evolution of what? Actually, hydrogen gas. Now, this is the same reaction which we used a test for ethanol. Note it, everybody. So one of the test for ethanol, this is the equation we'll use it. In exam, they will ask you, write the test to identify the ethanol. This is the test. What is the test, Amma? Anybody can tell? Reacting with the what? Everybody. Reacting with the sodium, it will produce sodium ethoxide plus hydrogen. Ma sodium ethoxide, you can write the formula like this. C2H5ONA. Write it ra. Don't get confused. Wherever you see C2H5ONA, here they are writing with the valency. Understanding? So sodium is the ion and ethoxide is the ion. So that's what they're writing. It is not required. You can write like this also. So write it, everyone. And this also ethanol. You can modify the equations also. Exam, anything you can write. Sodium reacting with the C2H5OH. C2H5OH. 2C2H5OH gives us C2H5ONA. That is what? 2 plus we'll get hydrogen gas. Write it, everybody. Clear? All of you? Understand? Everybody, please respond. Ma, understood, Amma? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
So what is the one of the test for identifying the ethanol? Everybody? Sodium metal test. So this is the test for identifying the what? Everyone? All of you? Identifying the ethanol. They will ask you even, what is the test for alcohol? What is the test for alcohol? You have to remember, what is the test for alcohol? Identifying alcohol, sodium test. So write that. So add a small piece of sodium metal to the organic liquid. That is what? Alcohol. Okay. It will start bubbles or effervescence will come. What do you mean by effervescence? Anybody can tell? You might be already studied. Effervescence means what? Gas bubbles. So like budak, like we can see that when the gas is evolving, we'll get bubbles like thing. That is what we used to say effervescence. So actually effervescence of what will come? Effervescence of hydrogen will come. Hydrogen gas is produced so that we can understand that it is reaction with the, so it is alcohol. It is indicating that the organic liquid, the given organic liquid is alcohol. Remember, suppose I have given you something in the test tube and you can see if I add the sodium and if I notice it that the bubbles are forming, that is what effervescences are forming. So means hydrogen gas is releasing so that I can say the given organic substance. What is the organic substance? Everybody? The given organic compound is a what compound? Everyone? It is the alcohol. So that is what you have to remember. Next property. That is what is extremely important. So that is only we can say, all of you, dehydration. What is the name of this one? Everybody? What is the name of this one? Dehydration. Another most important equation. Many times they will ask this equation in exam. So reaction to give unsaturated hydrocarbon. All of you remember, converting unsaturated to saturated. What is the name we used to call it as? Converting unsaturated to saturated. Yesterday we have studied. Anybody? Converting unsaturated to saturated. What is to call? Addition.
Hydrogenation.
Now, converting unsaturated means reaction to give unsaturated hydrocarbon. What is the name of the equation? Everybody. To get an unsaturated hydrocarbon, what is to call? Dehydration. Okay. So dehydration of alcohols means removal of water. Note it, everybody. Removal of water. More and more important concept it is. Removal of water. How to remove? Heating of ethanol at 443 Kelvin. Write it, everybody. 443 Kelvin, which is equals to 170 degrees Celsius. I hope you all clear. 170 degrees Celsius equals to 443 Kelvin with the excess concentration sulfuric acid. Excess concentrated sulfuric acid. Very, very important. Why? Concentrated sulfuric acid is called as a dehydrating agent. What is dehydrating agent? Concentrated sulfuric acid. What is the use of it? It will remove water from ethanol. Note it. Extremely important point. What is the importance of concentrated sulfuric acid? Removal of excess water from the ethanol. That is the importance of it. So, if I take the alcohol or ethanol on heating at 443 Kelvin with the concentrated sulfuric acid, so it will be converting into ethane. Write it. Ethane, ethena. Ethene. It is unsaturated hydrocarbon. So ethena, ethanama, CH2, CH2. What is that? C2H4. So it is a ethena, ethena. Everybody. Ethene plus water will come. Okay. So that is what you have to remember. So during this dehydration, sir, what will happen, sir? From CH3 group, be very careful. Yes. Here, from CH3 group and OH group, CH3 group and OH group, from, you can see, what will happen? The removed in the form of water molecule. So actually it is removed. Here hydrogen and here OH. It is removed in the form of water molecule. So resulting in the formation of ethene will come. Ethene will come. That is what you have to write it. Okay. So all of you write it. So hydrogen is removed from CH3 group and OH group. OH from CH to OH. From CH to OH, and from CH3, H. So OH. In the form of OH, in the form of H, it will be removed. So together they will come out as a what? OH plus H, which is together come out as a what? In the form of what molecule, guys? Water molecules. Understood, Amma? So result, what will happen? CH2 will form. CH2 double bond CH2 will form. That is only call it as a ethene we used to call. Now, what is the importance of concentrated sulfuric acid? What is the concentrated sulfuric acid? It is the dehydrating agent. Means it will remove the water molecule from the ethanol molecule. Do you all understand, Amma? Everybody, please respond. It will remove the water molecule from the ethanol molecule. So that is only call it as a dehydration reaction. So these are the 4 properties. And 5th property is same for ethanoic acid. That is what we used to call it as a esterification reaction. So this reaction is for both, it is same. So that is why this reaction we'll study in the tomorrow's class. Again, I'm saying test for ethanol. 2 tests. One is sodium test. Second one is ester test. This is only called it as a ester test. So both it is same reaction. That is why we will study this one in under the ethanoic acid. Are you clear, everybody, what I'm saying? So I hope you all clear. So today's class, most important thing you have to remember, one is combustion of ethanol. Second one is what? Everybody. Second test, oxidation reaction. Third one is what? Reaction with the sodium. And fourth one is what? Dehydration reaction. I hope you all understand. Anybody having any doubt, you can ask me. Are you clear? So sodium reacting with ethanol. What is the product will come? Everybody? What is the product will come when the sodium react with ethanol? All of you.